The story of football begins over 2,000 years ago in ancient China, where a military training exercise called Cuju involved kicking a leather ball filled with feathers and hair through a small opening in a silk net that was strung between two bamboo poles. Similar games emerged independently across the ancient world. The Greeks played episkairos, a game with two teams and a ball that involved using both hands and feet. The Romans adopted it as harpastum, a brutal battle for possession played by Roman soldiers to build fitness and courage. In medieval Britain, entire villages would compete in violent mob football matches where the goal could be miles away and there were almost no rules at all, often resulting in injuries and even deaths. These chaotic contests were so disruptive that several English kings, including Edward II and Henry IV, banned them outright by royal decree. But the people's love for kicking a ball could not be suppressed. The game survived through centuries of prohibition, passed down from generations. The modern game as we recognize it was born in the public schools of 19th century England. Each prestigious school played by its own local rules. Some allowed handling the ball, tripping opponents, and even hacking at the shins of other players, while others banned the use of hands entirely and focused on pure footwork. This chaos of conflicting rulebooks made it impossible for different schools to play against each other. At Cambridge University in 1848, a group of students drew up the Cambridge Rules, which formed the first unified foundation of what would become association football. The defining moment in football history came on October 26, 1863, when 11 London clubs and schools met at the Freemasons' Tavern on Great Queen Street to form the very first football association. After several heated meetings, they agreed on a single set of rules that banned tripping, pushing with the hands, and carrying the ball. The game would be played with the feet only. That single historic meeting divided football from the shores of Britain. Football spread across the globe at an astonishing pace that no one could have predicted. British sailors, merchants, soldiers, and railway workers carried the game to ports and cities in Europe, South America, Africa, and Asia. By the year 1900, organized leagues and competitions already existed in Argentina, Uruguay, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, and Denmark. The Fédération Internationale de Football Association, known to the world as FIFA, was founded in Paris in 1904 by 7 European nations determined to govern and standardize the world's fastest-growing sport. In 1930, Uruguay hosted the first ever World Cup and won it dramatically on home soil, defeating Argentina in the final. Today, the World Cup final is the single most watched sporting event on the entire planet, with over 3.5 billion viewers from every corner of the earth. Football is truly the world's game, spoken in a universal language of passion. The tactical evolution of football is a fascinating story of relentless innovation, brilliant minds, and constant adaptation to new rules and challenges. In the very early days, most teams played with just 2 defenders, 2 midfielders, and 6 forwards, the daring 2-2-6 formation that was purely focused on attack. The offside law was changed in 1925, dramatically shifting the balance between attack and defense, leading to the development of the famous WM formation by Arsenal manager Herbert Chapman. Then came the magnificent Hungarian team of the 1950s, the mighty Magyars, who revolutionized the game with deep-lying forwards and destroyed England twice. Brazil's fluid 4-2-4 formation won them the 1958 World Cup with a 17-year-old Pelé. The Dutch introduced total football in the 1970s, a system where every outfield player could play in every position on the pitch. And in the modern era, tiki-taka possession football reached its. Today, football is far more than just a game played on a grass pitch. It is a global cultural phenomenon that inspires unparalleled passion, loyalty, and devotion in over 3 billion people across every nation on earth. It is played in the narrow alleyways of Rio de Janeiro's favelas, on the golden beaches of Lagos, in the manicured parks of London, and on the dusty, uneven fields of rural Kenya and Tanzania. For millions of children growing up in poverty, a football is the cheapest and most accessible source of joy and hope. The top professional clubs have transformed into global brands worth billions of dollars, with fan bases stretching across every continent and time zone. Football has the unique power to unite divided communities, to lift talented individuals out of poverty, and to bring joy to those who have very little else in their lives. From its humble origins kicking a leather ball in ancient China to the floodlit, multi-billion-dollar stadiums of the